All the way live. Okay, I'm still trying to find myself on the phone. Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another Rise and Thrive on Financial Friday. It
Oh
is
yeah.
Financial Friday again, and coming pretty quick. I'm your host, Dr. A.D. Burns, and this is my co-host, Brother Minister James Jones. What's
How
going on,
you-
Mr. Jones?
I'm doing good, Pastor, but let me let everybody know. Hi, hello, everybody, and good evening to all my grinders. Oh
You,
yeah,
you want to get that out of there. Uh,
yeah. We gotta get all the grinders out. We gotta get all the
oh, wait,
grinders
there
out.
you go. I'm still trying to find it. There it is. All right. So listen, I said hello to all his grinders out there, and so I don't have all of the different screens up today. I was trying to get them going. So it depends on where you are. You may be on YouTube. You may be on one of the Facebook channels, one of the YouTube channels. And so if I don't see your comments, um, I'm working on it. Well, listen. I again, my got jammed up with my computer trying to get on and trying to get use both of these screens. So we on quite a bit late today. But today is an exciting day today. Today is our 90-day challenge. So we
Oh
start
yeah.
90-day challenge today. And we got the workbook ready. And let me see if I can get it up on the screen here. There it is. All right.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's our 90-day challenge. And we're going to walk through that today and help you get set up for the 90-day challenge. And so it's going to be very, very exciting to see so many of you walk in financial freedom. And so as we look at our 90-day challenge, we're going to intro it today, and then we're going to kind of chop it up a little bit, and we're going to give you an opportunity to get you a copy if you desire one. And so being able to understand that most of the things that we've already talked about is part of the 90-day challenge. All right, the things that we've already talked about, and so we kind of package those things up and put them into our 90-day challenge. And so for those of you who are going to be taking this journey with us, the goal is to tap into the six-figure anointing. I called it. You know, get to the where you're walking in six figures. And in order to do that, you have to have a foundation. You have to have a foundation
Yeah.
of how you're going to be operating. You're not going to be able to go back and forth. Well, if you do go back and forth, it's just going to take you longer to get there. But you're going to have to be willing to unlearn some things. You have to be willing to let some things go. And you have to be willing to decide that you're going to operate a certain way, even if you don't understand all of the principles of how to operate. Does that make sense, James?
Yeah, Pastor. Too often we do a lot of stuff, and I think I was talking to you or somebody else over just the basics, and being able to do the basics consistently is how we will easily or more effectively build foundations.
All
So
right.
yeah, what you're saying makes great sense to me.
And that's what the financial challenge is about. Is
Yeah,
about doing the basics consistently. Doing the
yeah,
basics consistently. And then we're going to introduce some other things in there. And for those of you who you might already be at six figures, it'll be some things that you could use to go to your next level. If seven figures, if your next level, or whatever your next level is, there are principles that you will be able to use as well. And for those
yeah,
of you who are just starting out, I don't want you to be overwhelmed by just the whole idea of six figures. six figures can be overwhelming just thinking about it, especially if you at a place where your needs got needs. You know, and I'm not poking fun. I'm just saying that some of us is, at an entry level place where you don't have a savings, you don't have an emergency fund. You're going paycheck to paycheck. You know, you're struggling with where you are, and so to think about six figures, that can be overwhelming. All right, but we're going to do it by doing the basics consistently. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to be taking small steps, small steps. Somebody type that in the chat for me. Small steps, small steps. I see Lady B is tuned in. She say, hey, grinders. All right. She's a grinder. All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Minister Pfeiffer in Mississippi
Good, bro.
is tuned in. Good evening to you. And he said he's ready for the six figures. All right. Now,
Oh yeah.
Now it
Oh
is,
yeah.
and the more I looked at this, and the more I've been reading and pulling things together, you know, James said it earlier. It's really easy. It's really not hard. The hard part, if I say there's to be a part that's hard, is going to be you learning to operate in the basics consistently. That's
Yes.
going to be so important because sometimes it might look like there's nothing happening. Sometimes it might look like this ain't working. you know but Rome, they say, wasn't built overnight, right? And so we're
Yes.
going to do
Yes.
it consistently. All right. And so we're setting up the link right now for those of you who want to get your copy of the workbook that we're going to be walking through for the next 90 days, or for us, it'll be measured in weeks, but for you, it'll be in days. And so you have to have, we talked about this for New Year's. One of the things, if you're going to have a better year, you have to create a rhythm. All right. You have to create a rhythm. And so you already have some sort of rhythm, you know, and that is, you probably get up, you may check your phone, you go use the bathroom, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you put on your clothes, or you may lay your clothes out. You got some kind of rhythm or regiment that you do already, you and you
Yeah.
do we do um, unawarely. We just have a way that we do things. Well, when it comes to your finances, we want you to create a rhythm for that. You know, there's going to be some things that we're going to ask you to do every day, that you got to get in the habit of checking into. All right. And so it's going to be
Yeah.
so important that you not wait till Friday and come on and have not done nothing for 6 days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. I know exactly what
You're
you're
going to
saying.
have to do something every day. You do something every day. And go ahead.
And yeah, just so I can add in. Now, when we're saying do something every day, we're not talking about changing your lifestyle in one day. We're talking about the simple changes. Like, hey, I need you to check your bank account at least every 3 days, every 2 days. It may be painful at first because some people may be in debt, some people may be juggling money, but the idea of making sure your finances are doing stuff, and that's an everyday occurrence. Or it could be something as simple as making sure you're not procrastinating on your bills. Now, we can't see you doing it, but I can tell you, from a person who procrastinates on bills to a person who pays their bills to a person who's juggling bills, each one has a different outlook and it has a different harmony that goes along with their life. So by not procrastinating on your bills, and you can get there if you are procrastinating, If you juggling your bills, you can get to a point where you are in harmony with your bills if you can get there. And I think that's the biggest thing that I just want to shed a little bit of light on, because I don't want anybody to think like, he want me to do all this work. No, I don't. I, I want you to do just like brushing your teeth in the morning. That's how I want you to check your account. I want it to be something so gradually natural that you do it without even thinking about it. Why? And the question is always why. It's not for my benefit, because I check my accounts periodically throughout every day, and sometimes more times I check my accounts periodically throughout the week, and sometimes I check it twice in a single day. So I'm not telling you don't do. I'm not telling you do something that I don't do. I'm telling you that if you want your money to do something, you got to look over it. For all parents out there, when we tell our kids to do something, do we tell them to do something and then we just walk away and be like, oh, they'll get done with it by the end of the day? Or do we check in periodically to make sure that they are doing what we told them to do? If we're a good parent, we do check
Mhm.
in periodically. Not that we're going to scold them or make sure that we're checking to make sure what I told you to do
Yeah.
is what you're doing. So as you tell your money to do something, like I tell my car, now this is old school. It used to be winter outside, and I used to drive a hoopty. I used to get in my car and be like, "Come on, Mark Charlie, come on, jigga 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 jigga, Charlie, I need you to start up, jigga 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 jigga, Charlie, this is me. We gotta go to work. Boom boom boom. Okay, Charlie, good job." And we drive off. If I can do that, now I know. Now I know everybody else got like these high performance vehicles, and every car starts. But I'm telling you what I went through back in the day. I had to start a car up on
Yeah.
hope and prayers. I had to I had to tell this car,
Mhm.
I need you to start. I need to speak to this inanimate object. And that car, I know the car wasn't alive. The car isn't a dog. The car isn't a pet. But I need that car
Yeah.
to start. So I talked to it. Hey Charlie, I need you to start today. I know I didn't put enough gas in you. I know you got three ball tires, but I need to get to work so we can make this money. And guess what started happening? Charlie started starting up. I named my car Charlie. So Charlie started doing what I called it
Okay.
out to do. When I had kids, I called my kids by name. I was told not to call them by numbers, but I call them by name. But every kid has a purpose. You not just randomly here. You my kid. So this is what I want you to do. When I go to work, I give my kids instructions. I want you to do X, and then fill it in. When I come back, I expect my kids to be either finished or working on what I had
Mhm.
assigned them to do. The same thing is true about your money. Now, do you have to check it every day? If you're not used to it, no. But it'll be nice to check it every 3 days, every 2 days, every 4 days. You gotta work into the habit of being intentionally looking over your finances, intentionally looking over your vision, intentionally looking over what God has placed in your sphere
Mhm.
of influence.
Yeah. And so in the workbook is there's a couple things I'm kind of walk you through in the beginning part of the book. You'll find the table of contents in there, and let me see. Um, I was trying to see if I can share my screen here. Okay, uh, there you go. So
Yeah.
the first part is the table of contents. So in the table of contents, we have the intro, and it talks about the purpose of the challenge. It talk about what to expect. Then it give you some scriptures and quotes and some mindset things that you want to begin to look at. All right. And then now we are on week one. So today we're laying the foundation. And so there's four things specifically that we want you to do this week. All right. And when we get to that page, we'll look at a little more in depth. But setting the vision, working on your mindset, uh, having some type of
Yeah.
financial goal, and a daily affirmation. And so we're going to talk about those today. On next week, which is going to be a exciting week, and that'll be James' week. He gets excited about that. And did you come up with that formula yourself, James? Okay,
Yes. Well, God gave it to me, but yeah, I
okay.
did
So
come
we're
with the
going to be
formula.
talking about uh, budget. Now, you're supposed to already have a budget, and if you don't have a budget,
Yeah.
then we want you to create it. We want you to have a budget by next week. Okay, we want you to have a budget,
Yeah.
and in the workbook in the back, I put in the appendix back in the back where you at back there. Boom. I put in just a skeleton of what it is. So a budget worksheet, pretty much your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, your savings, your debt payments, and miscellaneous. Now next week, James is going to walk you through his budget, and so he's going to give you a
Yeah.
budget sheet, the one we gave you before, that kind of have everything already there,
Yeah.
but he's going to try to help make it simple for you. But you gotta have a budget. You
Yeah.
gotta have a budget. You cannot start without your budget. You gotta know what's coming in, and you gotta know what's going out. So James is going to talk about that. All right, and then
Yes,
there's some,
man.
when we talk about goal settings, also in your appendix there, I wrote just an outline of the goal, the deadline, the steps that you're going to use to achieve it, one step, 5 steps, 10 steps, however many steps, and then a way to track your progress. All right. And so I don't want to overwhelm you. I want to take it day by day, but I wanted to show you that because that helps you with this week's assignment of setting your vision. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the developing the mindset and your financial goals and your daily affirmation. That's what we're going to look at. And so next week, James, we'll talk. He's going to show us a easy way to do a budget, or it's really just a matter of you doing the work. You know. Then on week, we spent 2 weeks on that, and then we'll talk about in week 5 active income. And so we want to look at that because we want you to begin to do some small things. There are some small assignments so that you can begin to create some different things that you can begin to build on. All right. It's not going to be the large steps, it's going to be the little steps. Okay. Week 7, and we're going to talk about saving and investments. And so we're going to give you an assignment so that you can go out at some level and begin to activate what you learn. Okay. And then on week 9 and 10, we'll talk about overcoming obstacles. By then, you'll probably be frustrated. You'll probably run into some brick walls. You may have, you saved up, $2,000. You was happy. Then something happened with the car, and it cost $2,500 to fix it, or something. That's life. You know,
Yeah.
Bishop Rosie say, "Life be lifing, but God be God." You know, so week 11, we're going to talk about generational wealth and legacy. It's not just about us, but we're going to set up some things to challenge you to open up an account and to start putting some money aside for generations. All right. Then we're going to talk about several areas as we close, some tips, daily reflections, and things of that sort. All right. And so we're going to ask you to read the purpose of the challenge on your own. That's the first part of the introduction. Second part of the introduction is what to expect. We're going to ask you to read that. And then the third part of the introduction would be some scriptures, quotes, and some mindsets. Now, I just want to hit them two mindsets at the bottom right there because that's going to be very important for you. Number one, visualizing success daily. You got to see yourself being successful with this. You know, you can't be beating yourself up every time you mess up, or every time something don't work out, and you can't be negative. You're gonna have to be optimistic. So if you're a negative person, you're your greatest enemy. And so you're going to have to start by trying to be a positive person. You know, things will work in your favor. So every day we're going to ask that you take a few minutes and imagine your future and picture yourself achieving your goals and then letting your vision fuel your motivation, which we get ready to talk about in just a minute. And then secondly, we want you to embrace growth. What does that mean? View your
Yeah,
challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Each obstacle is a stepping stone to success. All right. And so d- don't look at things as dead ends, you know, when something happened. All right. So we're going to talk about these things right
yeah,
here and why this is important for you for mindset. All right. Now, how do you, I'm trying to see, do I, let me see.
yeah. Hey, you ready for me to jump in it? I'm
We
ready.
get
I'm
ready
ready
to
to
take
jump
it
in it.
down
I'm
right
just
now. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay, so now let's chop it up.
all right. The biggest thing, the biggest takeaway is that I think mindset and vision. Mindset is so big about getting you to what you need to have. I think so. Mindset. Before I hit six figures, I think I had the mindset of hitting it before I hit it was about 10 years, 10 years of going through the motions of going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then to accomplish it. And now remember, when I was going through it, I didn't have somebody telling me, you could do it, this is how it looks, this what I was just trial and error. And that's the benefit that everybody has. If you understand what we're doing and you have the mindset to do it, and you have the willingness to understand and to apply yourself, you will get there faster than me. Another thing that mindset is so key is that your brain allows you to move faster in the production of what you're doing. So if you right now want to be a really good pool player, as you
Mhm.
start playing pool, your mind will become better at pool. Your mind automatically will start picking up new programs and strategies and download them into your body to make your
Mhm.
pool game better automatically. The same is true if your idea or your mindset is to get better or more tactical or more proficient in being effective with your finances. As your mind changes, just as your mind, if you say, hey, I want to get here, one of the simplest things I can tell somebody is talk about it. Instead of saying, it'll never happen. Why don't you just pose the question to yourself? What do I need to do to make seven figures? If I want to make $1 million today, what do I need to do? Just pose a question. Let your mind tell you what it takes. Let your mind open itself up to imagination and say, huh, if you want to make $1 million, I would fly an airplane, right? And let your mind allow yourself to live in your imagination and to visualize what you got going on. And then pray, hey God, how you doing? What I just want to do this. And I think mindset is so big and so key is because when God gives you an answer, it don't have to look like you want it to look. It don't have to sound how you want it to sound. As long as you know that God told you to do it, That's the direction to go in because it may not look good to build an ark for 120 years until the
Mm-hmm.
rain comes. I know it didn't look good to be in a famine, and God told you to get fed by a bunch of ravens until you live through the famine. It don't look good all the time. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't got to dip yourself into a nasty river to get yourself cleansed. It doesn't sound like it makes sense until you do it, and now you're cleansed, and you're doing something that you may not recognize is God. So I'm telling you, have the mindset. Hey, what do I got to do? Pray, and then pray again, and then pray a third time, pray a fourth time. Be clear about what God is sending you and what God is saying to you. And the third one is to do it. All of those are part of where your mind is and where your mind is taking you. So I can only tell you that when I started off, I didn't get I didn't get everything at once. I got a bunch of information and I was off to the races. When I say I was off to the races, I knew I wanted a house, I knew I wanted a wife, and I knew I wanted financial stability. I knew I wanted these things. A wife, a house, and financial stability. I knew I wanted them. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know where. I knew what I wanted and I spoke it. I spoke it so much that it just happened, right? We be like, it just happened. No, it didn't just happen. Listen to me. It didn't happen. I spoke it. I said, this is what I want out of my life. This is what I want to do. This is where God is sending me. This is what needs to happen. And guess what? Things start falling in order when
Yeah.
I start being in order. Once I got in order, things fell in order. So I'm telling you, get the mindset to be in order so things will start falling in order. Because once they're in order, then you can move faster. Because once your life is stabilized, you can move faster in
Mm-hmm.
all of your adventures.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's so important to give yourself permission to be successful. And then understand that
Yeah,
even if you didn't hit six figures by being open to six figures, I guarantee you'll be much further than where you are. And so um,
yeah,
it's so important that you get out of your own way because from a mentality standpoint, we've been conditioned to think a certain way, and we've been conditioned to stay within a certain boundary. And a lot of times, the fear of what can happen or what you might change into can be enough to hold you back where you don't dare to be
yeah.
different. All right. So now this week, one of your assignments is a vision board. Now I got vision boards all around me, but this is one I keep by my desk right here. Oh, you can't see that one, can you? Oh, the green. There you go. You kind of you
Yeah,
see a
there you
little
go.
bit, don't you? Okay, so I have on
Yes,
here God being number one, then healthy relationships. And because I'm a car man, I always got a car. I don't need a car, but I'm always believing for a car. And then I got my six figures down there, and then I got my health right there. All right. And so
yeah,
this is my vision board. These are the things that I'm believing God. And so this car here is a Lexus. Interesting. I had the opportunity to manifest it, but I couldn't find this particular one. This is a particular one right here. This is the last eight cylinder that they made, and it has to be they have a special paint job. That's a pearl paint that that Lexus makes themselves, and it's a L, which means that it's extra long than the regular one. So, and it's got some other different features on it that the other ones don't have. And so it's a 2017 model, and so that's that's on my vision wall, and so um, I end up getting another Lexus, but I don't think that Lexus would have manifested had not I been believing for a Lexus. Y'all follow me? So I'm saying that because my mind was open to it, I didn't get what I had on there, but I'm on my way in that road. The Bible said first the blade. All right,
Yeah,
and so I want you to create you a vision wall. It can be as large as you want it to be,
yes, yes,
but don't just try to only have a few things on there. You know, and like for me, these things are doable. Healthy relationships. That means that I have to be forgiving. That means that I have to initiate tough conversations. I can't run and hide. With the Bible, when they brought the offering to their offering to the altar, Jesus told them to leave their offering and go back and get their relationship right, and then come back and deal with the offering. So our relationships are important. We can't throw people away. We can't be snooty and arrogant. We can't, just talk any kind of way to people. You know, God loves, and so if we want His help, we have to value what He values. And then, of course, your health will do you no good to have six figures you know if, if your health is
yeah,
messed up and you can't enjoy it. And then
yeah,
um, making sure that I keep God in the right perspective, and then get some things that I enjoy. And so I want you to get your work on your vision board this week, and I'm gonna ask you to take a picture of it on next week, and I'm gonna ask you to upload it in the comments so that we can see your vision board, and
yeah,
then we're gonna all be in agreement. All right. And so the Bible says in Habakkuk 2
yeah,
and 2, it says, write the vision, make it plain on the tablet so that he may run who reads it. All right. And we've been talking about this, but Robert Collier, he says it like this. He says, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. So going back to what James was saying about the foundational things doing over and over and over again. How did you say that, James?
and the best way I don't know if I said it verbatim like this, but you gotta make the regular things you do, you gotta make the things you do so regular it's like brushing your teeth. You gotta make the things which you would like to do so regular that you do it like brushing your hair, like waking up in the morning. That's the essentially what you have to put yourself in or be in
Okay.
that mindset. Because like checking your accounts, looking at your money, giving all of your money an assignment, giving yourself an assignment, tasking yourself out, and making sure you're completing the task, making sure your money is doing what you're assigned to do, checking and making sure that it is providing what it was assigned to do. Those things need to become so routine that they like eating breakfast in the morning.
Okay. All right. Now let's look at this um, week one again. Let's pull that back on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, why you pulling it back up? I gotta tell you, I do gotta appreciate your vision board because I think they did not like my vision board. My vision board was not the same as yours. So I gotta work on those
Uh,
relationships.
I mean, being able to decide what it is that not only that I want, but what's important to God. Um, let's take let let me say this, and this is something that I learned early on. Um, whenever if we're going to see this throughout the workbook as well. Whenever I'm believing God for something, I try to purposely make sure that um, I'm in agreement with His will, and so I don't believe for something that God don't have a party in. When I was believing for my house, I was believing for the house that I live in now, because I wanted a place where pastors could come and they can, just almost like a retreat center. And he gave me, he allowed me to get this house and just buy some water. Unfortunately, they don't keep the maintenance up on the trees and stuff around the water. You can't hardly see it sometimes, but it's peaceful, and have pastors that do come and they hang out. I hire somebody to cook for them, and I'll go on about my day, and they just hang out at the house. They might do that for a couple of days, and then go back to their city. And so I even got a house not just for me, but I was thinking about how I could be a blessing to the kingdom as well. And even when it comes to six figures, I want to be a kingdom paymaster. And in the workbook, it tells you what a kingdom paymaster is. But in short, a kingdom paymaster is that guy that, like the church need a new furnace for $13,000. I want to be that guy to say, okay, Pastor, I'll take care of that. You don't have to money for that. Or the church needs a new roof for $50,000. I want to be that guy to say, okay, I'll take care of that. You know, that's what a kingdom paymaster
Yeah.
is. And so that's a person who I'm not believing for six figures just so I can be on the top of the world, or that I can be whatever. No, I want to be that guy that God could use to distribute funds throughout the kingdom. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so
Amen.
I don't want to just be six figures just so I can be six figures. I want to be six figures so that God can use me as a paymaster. And there's things that He wants done in the kingdom that the church struggles with, when it comes to financially. That as long as I'm in the house, I'll be sitting in somebody's church and they'll be talking about they raising $100,000 for something. I want to be that guy to say, you know what, Pastor, Lord just spoke to me. I'll take care of that for you. You know, let
That's
some of
great
y'all say,
news. That is so cool. No, that's so cool. I guarantee that day that.
yeah,
Hey, now that's cool.
that's a kingdom payment.
That
You
is
know,
so cool. Like I had to write it down. I'm like, I had to write down kingdom. I'm like, kingdom paymaster. That's a new word of the day right there. Like,
let's put the book back up there. It's in the book.
yeah.
It's in the workbook. Uh, you know. Now, only because James said that, I'm gonna go back. There it is, right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a word of
the
a day.
characteristics of a kingdom paymaster. The kingdom of God paymaster, and so it's got all the things in there. Up here, uh, when you look at this final encouragement, where it says kingdom, it's a kingdom of God paymaster. I call it the kingdom.
Yeah,
Is
the
a
divine
divine
calling.
calling to manage and distribute wealth for God's purposes. Paymasters are believers who are entrusted by God to generate, manage, and use financial resources in alignment with His kingdom principles. Their role is to serve as conduits of blessing, using their wealth and resources to advance God's work on earth, such as supporting ministries, helping the poor, funding missions, and building initiatives that glorify God. And, and then when you look at the
Oh,
next page, it tells you the characteristics of a kingdom paymaster. And so, we want to make sure that we are aligning ourselves with the will of God and what He wants for our lives as well. So, this week we talked about vision. So we want you to get your vision board together, and I want you to sit. You
Yeah.
got to sit down this week, find you some quiet time, and you're gonna have to write down your vision for financial success. All right, and you got to be clear and specific. What? Why do you want financial success? What you gonna do with it? I just told you mine. I want to be a kingdom paymaster. It's not just about me. It's about me being a conduit, me being used of God. If water goes through a pipe and water is the currency, the pipe is gonna get wet too. You know, so it's not gonna
Yeah.
be that I'm gonna give everything away and then I ain't gonna have none for myself. No, with that type of flow coming in, you know, that's why they have, and I always mess up on this word, James. You're gonna have to say it, philanthropist. Yeah.
Oh,
And so
philanthropy.
that's
So it's philanthropy, and you'll be a
yeah,
philanthropist.
yeah.
I
And,
got
and
you.
so what is a philanthropist?
So a philanthropist is a person who donates a large sum of their personal earnings into a project or to a venture. By doing so, you can avoid
So
taxes
so
or
even
taxation.
though their reasoning or strategy may be a little different, um, they still have a heart to give. You know, and so it's
Yes.
important that you and I get to the place where we can be trusted. And so your homework this week is to create a vision board, and I want you to sit down and I want you to write out, okay, what is your vision for financial success? All right. And then
Yeah.
we want you to pray daily. All right. And that, Proverbs 16
Yeah.
and 3, it says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So every day we want you to pray for guidance, clarity, and discipline. And then
Yeah.
this is your affirmation. Um, every day when you get up, look in the mirror and say, I'm disciplined, focused, and equipped to achieve financial success. You get up, you look in the mirror,
That's
and,
what.
and you say
Yeah.
it until you can say it like you mean it. All right. So you gotta have a vision for where you want to go, and so you got to take time out. Now, if you look at how much time we waste on Facebook or on watching TV or whatever things that we do,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to prioritize looking at where we're going. And so, if you don't know where you're going or what you're trying to accomplish, how are you going to get and you wouldn't know if you were lined up with the right people or not. You know, one
Yeah.
of the things amongst my friends, I don't have a lot of them, but amongst my friends, we always ask ourselves, we always ask this question. Anytime we get together, somebody gonna ask this question. It ain't gonna always be the same person, but somebody gonna ask this question. We're gonna be getting together and we're gonna be, hanging out, and out of nowhere they're gonna say to somebody, I'm gonna say for me this time, they say, Burns, what's the biggest thing you believe in God for right now? You know, they're gonna ask that question,
Yeah.
and when I first started hanging out with them, I would start stumbling around when they asked that question, trying to come up with an answer, but it would be something I would come up with on the fly at the moment. You know what I mean? But over time, I've learned to always have my faith out there for something that I'm believing God for.
Yeah.
Right now, I would say the biggest thing that I believe in God for now is a retreat center. I would like to take the concept of people coming to my house and hanging out to take it that concept and creating this big retreat center where I could probably do maybe 12 pastors at a time, swimming pool, everything, where they can come and they can rejuvenate. And I would have, the state of the art, you know, um, equipment there, exercise, little mini golf course in the back, a place where they could read, have a massage people there, have a cook there, where all they have to do is just
Yeah.
get there, and then they get there, and then they rejuvenate. Because if I can help pastors by helping one pastor, let's say if he pastors 100 people, by me helping him, I just helped 100 people. You know what I mean? Because if I can help him to be better,
Yeah.
he gonna be able to help those people be better. And so that's one of the things that I believe in God
Yeah.
for right now. On a personal level, I believe in God for a dealership. I want an old school car dealership where you get the old cars and you remodel them. You know what I mean? You gut them
Yeah.
and put the modern parts in the old school car.
Man, you go back to my old days. That's old days for
No,
me. Like, oh, souping up
I've
cars.
always believed
Yeah.
in God for something. Now, can I just go out and do that? No, that's much bigger than me. You know, but I'm opening
Yeah.
myself up to that possibility. You know, if I when I'm
Yeah.
driving down, I was driving down Brown Deer, and that building is for sale. Um, I, I think it was the old Emilam's place before by the Honda place on 91st and stuff. I say, you know what, that would be a real good shop
Yeah.
for my old school. You know, and so I'm saying to you, you got to dream again. You got to start dreaming again. You got to start
Yeah.
thinking about what is it that you really want to see happen. You have to start beginning to open yourself up to beyond what the problems that you're dealing with and the challenges that you have, so that when God began to give you these opportunities, then the biggest thing you gonna have to worry about is boldness and courage to be able to walk in the opportunities.
Yeah. I think I'm like, man, my stuff. I'm like a retreat. Like, man, that's crazy cool. I think the visions that I got are I don't think they're that big, and that's the crazy part. I thought they was big when I first started, but I don't think that they're big now. Like I just don't. It's like I'm like halfway point, so it doesn't look as big as it used to. But the one biggest thing was to buy a school out and then teach financial literacy inside of a school. So make it like a regular NPS curriculum. We got all the kids in the neighborhood, all the teenagers, and we're teaching them financial literacy from freshman all the way up to senior. And seniors are coming out with a full degree in business or an associate's degree in business, and they're out there doing great things. Or they're doing one of the trade or tech schools, and they're doing great things. And then we're going to take the high school and then teach night classes to everybody in the neighborhood. Anybody living in the neighborhood can come to the school and they can get free training on night classes on financial literacy. That was like the real, like big thing. And then, and then I had another vision that came. I am not done with the school thing. It's just the school thing has a lot of people that want to get their hands wet, I guess, with money. So we're kind of still negotiating that. But another thing that we was talking about was the Black Wall Street, and I wanted to take Bronzeville,
Hmm.
which is in Milwaukee. I want to take Bronzeville and re-inundate it with money and a bunch of black-owned shops. But I'm not talking about like that, like the flea market feel that some people think, or like the Milwaukee Mall feel that people was thinking. I'm talking about like we got black businesses that are like G's Clippers and like Saks Fifth Avenue, and you got like Club Shay Shay, like that kind of atmosphere back in Bronzeville, right where the Black Holocaust Museum is, and bringing back in the American Museum, and like those atmospheres are just thrive thriving in our community. I mean, I don't know why we can't bring a theater down inside of the
Hmm.
heart of Milwaukee, or like a roller ring. Am I saying
Yeah.
it right? A roller skating ring, or like a roller ring. Boom, bring that back to Milwaukee and have places for the teenagers to go out and do stuff versus everybody just doing whatever. Like bringing that money back inside of the heart of Milwaukee, where the people is. So we going to use our money into our neighborhood to improve
Hmm.
our area. And I'm always big on that. The company Jehovah Lord Jesus Properties, or JOJP for short, that's the biggest focus of the parent company that everybody else thrives into. So and that's the big thing is building that up that you live in the city, you put your money in the city, and you also get your experiences in the city. So no, you don't gotta drive out to Brookfield and you don't gotta drive out to Mequon. Nope, you can go right in Milwaukee and have a nice feel. You go right to the movies and not have any fears of being carjacked or being harassed. You go right to the movies, boom, you get the movies and you leave. Like we used to
Yeah,
have those things. It's just that we allow outside entities or outside people to influence us into some negative
yeah,
understandings. And if we can clean out those understandings and start getting the right people in the right positions to get those things done, man,
yeah.
that'll be golden. That's the vision I'm having
Well,
now. So
yeah, those
yeah,
visions are
you're doing
huge
that.
because they impact people. And when people are
Oh
impacted,
yeah,
they impact people. So your reach goes far beyond what that initial thing is. It becomes like a seed. You know, my friend says all the time, he says, you can count how many seeds that is in the apple, but you can't count how many apples that's in the seed, you know. So
yes, yes,
you have to get to a place where we want to be impactful beyond ourselves. So listen, we're almost out of time. Let's put that link up there. And so we want you to get the workbook. Hey, Tiffany, I see you tuning in with us. We're starting our 90-day challenge today, and we laid out today our foundation. And so we want to take the next 90 days and challenge us to get our consistency together when it comes to the foundation of how we operate. And then we're going to begin to talk about the road to six figures. And we want you
yes,
to
yes,
go and click on that link. It's at payhip.com. And on there, you'll get the 90-day challenge. Let's put that book back up on the screen for 'em. We'll get that 90-day challenge, and
yeah,
let's see. There you go. Um, on the road to six figures, the 90-day challenge. And so it's to equip participants with the mindset, habit, strategy to start their journey towards achieving six-figure income and financial stability. And so this is the foundation for the six figures. Um, and so this helps us to get our foundation. These are the habits and the mindset and the strategies that we want to use every day, every day, every day. This want to become our SOP, our standard operation procedures of these basic things that we're going over these next 90 days. It ain't nothing real deep. They're the basic things. And so the book is $20. Where there's no investment, there's no appreciation. And so we want you to invest in yourself. And as you know, we walk through it. Walk you through the workbook, so you can see it's packed full of valuable information. That anybody know that I'm gonna give you more than your money's worth. And so we want you to go in and go on um, payhip.com and get your on the road to six figures, your 90-day challenge booklet. And then you're going to walk with that every week with us. It's going to have your daily assignments in there. It's going to have in there your fill in the blanks so that you can begin. It can become your Bible, if you will, or well, I probably shouldn't use the word Bible, but your guide um, to laying down your foundation. All right. Well, we just about out of time, and so um, James, you ready for the challenge?
yeah.
All
I'm ready
right,
for the
all right.
challenge.
Now next week,
Ready, man. I'm being nice. Like I'm ready. I wait for this challenge. I'm trying my best to do this challenge with full
okay.
strength.
So listen, get your workbook for next week. We're gonna start talking about building habits for success, and that one of the habits that we're going to be talking about is your budget. And so we want to look at your budget for next week. And James is going to help us with his formula that the Lord gave us. He's going to share that formula with us, and we've shared it before, but now I want you to really be serious about it. So next week you're going to come back with your vision board, right? And remember my vision board. I have I have a vision board. Um, you know, all over. I have different things in my car. I got things wrote on top of my computer up here. Let's see if I can get it again.
There
You
you
see it?
go. I see it.
All right.
Yeah, I
All
see it.
right. And
It's good. It's
so,
good.
you don't have to have nothing fancy. But that's my vision board right there. And I am working towards that. I'm doing better in my health. My relationships, my relationship with God is good. And now it's time to start working on my six figures, so I could be a kingdom paymaster. Yeah. And so
Hey
and so
man.
we're gonna ask you to create your vision board for next week, and then we're gonna ask you to take a picture of it. And on next week we'll ask you to upload it in the chat, so that we can come in agreement with you. And then also for next week, we want you to put together a budget, and we want you to have the budget next week. Now you don't have to upload that, but we want you to have a working budget next week. All right. So as we talk about budgeting, if you got questions and stuff, you can ask some questions. And so we don't want it to just be, us giving you a bunch of information. We want it to be interactive. And so we're working now on a link where you will be able, those of you who do get the book, we're going to give you access to us. So if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them. We're also going to have some affirmations and stuff that's going to go out, and we're going to kind of walk with you on this journey. All right. And so we're going to try to beef it up a little bit so that you can be able to tap in. And then we got a couple videos that we want to show you as well. And so we want it to be real interactive. We want to be exciting. We don't want to be the ones that sit down here and give you all the information, but we want to be able to walk you through. And our goal is at the end that you'll be on your way to six figures, or you have passed six figures on your way to seven. All right. All right. Well, that's about all the time we have. James, what you got?
uh, all I can say is, we got this. You got this. We can do this.
All right. I ain't gonna mess with you this time.
Yeah, because I'm like, I see that 58 minutes. I'm like, I can't go longer. But okay, since we do got more time, hey guys, I'm glad I was able to talk to y'all to lay the foundation. Remember, vision tells you what the end look like. Your mindset tells you how you're gonna get there. Faith is the strength to walk even when you don't see the path. Okay. So you got to use all three of these. You're going to come together, make your vision board, set your mindset correctly. And I want you to have the faith that it takes in order to walk through this. Because for 90 days, you got us, we got you, and we got each other. And if that's not a family, I don't know what else to tell you.
That was good. That was good. Oh, look at him coming on with it. Well, listen, thanks again for tuning in. I'm your host, Dr. A.D. Burns. This is my co-host, Brother Minister James Jones. And we are on our road to six figures. We're laying down the foundation, and we're ready to start with our 90-day challenge. So make sure you go on payhip.com and get your workbook. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. All right? Peace.